So they learn really quickly that bait bags often predict. So I'm going to make it really visible here. So it's on my front of my leg here. So I'm really setting it up, right, challenging for her because I'm sitting here obviously with it in full view. It's in her personal space where it is right now.
Okay.
So the probability of her trying to make a choice to I can help myself.
Oh, she does that with me a lot. She tries.
She tries again. Things of experimentation. I like dogs who experiment because it means I have options for to choose
Right.
what to reinforce and what to, not. So obviously right now she's more interested in just sort of scoping out the floor. So I'm going to bring her interest to the bag. So obviously putting my hand in there promotes it. So I'm going to do is I'm going to close, make sure
One's on the outside of the other dogs.
okay. So I'm going to just put my hand here.
Okay, physically can't get it.
Yes, so I let her experiment, and then she chooses an option, and I'm going to pay her for an alternative behavior. So the two key points here are one is manage your food source. So if she tries to get into there, you can just do this. If you find that she's really persistent, so she's gone from I'm just nosing it to now I'm going to try and dig it out, or I'm going to try and bite it out, or I'm going to try and um, you know do a whatever else. Um, she's giving you some information. She's telling you that this position here, where it's in her personal space and so close, it's actually like a master's degree dissertation. You're asking her to do a really complex problem that she doesn't quite have skills for. So you might say, okay, I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to stand up. Now it's further away, and it's easier for you to choose to stay off of it because it takes more effort to get
So
to
if she jumps, you do the same thing.
same thing. I'm gonna, protect my source if she jumps. She's probably not gonna spend a lot of time jumping. First of all, because it's just a lot of exercise that doesn't pan out. Um, so I want to watch for when she's
And
choosing.
then when she gets better, you
She
give
gets,
her some.
yeah, when she's quieter, when she's chosen to keep her feet on the
Now,
ground,
before
or maybe she's chosen to look to me, then I'm going to pay that, and then I'm going to say, okay, you're doing really well with all the choices you're making right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back down. Now, if I just sit down directly, she'll probably, for instance, move in really fast. So as I sit down, I'm going to pay her. So I'm giving her
oh,
something to
okay.
do, and then I'm getting ready for to reinforce you for an alternative, which is just standing and watching.
She's a hungry little thing.
So I'm just doing, again, tiny, tiny little pieces. Good girl. But what's happening here is I'm helping her learn how to make what we consider socially more appropriate choices, i.e., to ignore the bait bag in your personal space. And the way I'm getting to that point is two ways. One is I'm preventing her from getting access. So I'm either putting my hand on the bag, and she goes like, "No, that didn't work," and I backed off, and I got paid.
And just sitting nicely, it works.
Yes. So, and then if she's very persistent, putting her hand on the bag is not sort of working out. She says, "Well, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try digging at your hand, or chewing at your hand, or barking at you, or I'm going to escalate my behavior."
And then she gets less, right?
Yeah, exactly. So she's telling you that you're giving her too difficult a choice to make. She's like, I just can't choose anything else because that's so big in my mind right now. So I was like, okay, I'll make it easier for you. I'm going to make this be higher. And if I've got she's a small dog. If I had a bigger dog, say I was working with a Labrador,
Yeah.
me standing up is not that much height different for a lab.
Right.
So I might say, okay, well, I'm going to actually take the bait bag off my person, and I might put it up on a mantle. And I might have to put it up so it's much higher. Because what I don't want to do is teach the dog to successfully use higher and higher,
Yeah, I put some food on the table, and she really tried to jump on the table.
Mhm.
I mean, she wasn't too experienced because she can't jump that high right now.
But she's learning.
Right. So what do I do with that?
First of all, don't put it in her path right now.
Right.
So
Okay.
the big thing is don't leave really attractive things close to her right now.
So put in the middle of the table?
I would say probably don't put it on the table at all. part of what's running right now is she's at an age stage where the ability to not do something, to i.e. impulse control, to make decisions on not to engage in an alternative sort of interesting thing to do. That part of the brain is still very much under development, and so
Okay,
it's
so I
very difficult.
I keep the sinful things away from her.
Exactly, until she's a little bit, she has practice on I can ignore them and it works. And the other thing too is we tend to forget too, because we've got our older dogs who are they're much more practiced, and we tend to forget, well, we had to go through this with them when
Right.
they were younger. Nice choice. So she licked my hand, she took the bag out, she licked my hand, she chose to move off. I'm gonna give her a tiny piece for choosing to do that. So it's just being aware of, she's practicing behavior, she's experimenting. How does this work? And that's essentially what she's doing. It's all about how can I make the world work for me?